is day 4 and we are headed out. We are going to Flanders Field first, huh? That was a late edition, and we have a surprise when we get there too. We stopped for gas at a Texaco, and they make stuffed Belgium waffles here. These waffles were amazing. One was stuffed with Nutella, another had pineapple, another had apple in it. It was very yummy, and we definitely were surprised that you can get such good stuffed waffles from a Texaco. The kids were really sleepy on our trip because we had to get them up at 5:30 to pack the car and get going, because we decided that we wanted to go see Flanders Field since it was pretty close to on our way. Flanders Field was about an hour from Calais, which is where we were staying in Belgium. And when we got there, we were surprised to see it's actually in a residential neighborhood. It is, however, on the corner of a street, so there were street noises out in front, but it was just a very tranquil place to come and pay your respects. Sadly, we couldn't wait for them to open, but we saw what we could from the gate, and then Rebekah gave us a poem recitation.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row and row. Not longer a place, and in the sky the larks so bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved, were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you for failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, you shall not sleep, the poppies grow in Flanders fields. Thank you, Mr. BSC.
We had to get back on the road again because we were headed to the port of Calais, so across the French border. It's about an hour and a half away from Flanders Field, and we had to get there at 10 o'clock because our ferry leaves at 11. We made it with plenty of time. There are a few different border checks you need to go through when you get there, so there was a long line, but it moved pretty quickly, and we were able to get ready and be put into the line to get on the ferry. Make sure if you have to go through these ferry portal checks that you have your passports out and ready along with your tickets, and they typically will have a place where you get in line, and they actually have bathrooms too that you can get out of your car and go to the bathrooms, which is very helpful. When we got onto the boat, we had to get up to the deck. You're not allowed to sit in your car on the ferry, which is a typical rule in America too, I believe. The ferry ride is over an hour long, so we grabbed a few things like books, cell phone chargers to keep us busy while we waited, and then went up to the seating area. You definitely want to get up there and find a spot as soon as possible because all the good spots can be taken, especially when it's busy during the summer. They open up the food lines pretty much directly as soon as people have formed a line. Sometimes they wait until the ship is underway. Some of the best seats, of course, are by the windows, and those get taken up first. So that's definitely something you want to hurry up and get to if that's where you want to sit. This being our first trip to England, we wasted no time and tried the fish and chips, which was very good. Even though it was on the ferry, we were very impressed. And just a word to the wise, be careful, it can get very expensive to eat on the ferries. Thankfully, this one was not too expensive. What do you think, Becca? Do you like the ferry? Is it like a cruise? The ferry ride from Calais to Dover was about 2 hours, and you can see the whole way across the English Channel on a clear day, at least we could, and you can see the white cliffs of Dover that were very beautiful. It was really neat that we were able to land there because we had always wanted to see those white cliffs, and it was an easy stop on our trip because we were going right there to that port. We could see the lighthouse and thought we would go there, but there was no road to it. We would actually have had to hike, so we did not actually visit the lighthouse. Once we got to the cliffs of Dover. We could look out over the port where we had just come in. Very huge port they have there and beautiful. The water was amazingly blue from up high, and we got to feel and touch the cliffs of Dover, which was super cool. So we made it to the cliffs of Dover, and it is beautiful.
It is basically it seems like.
To get to this location, we put the National Trust Cliffs of Dover Welcome Center into our GPS. There is a £6 fee to park in their parking lot, which is fine. They accept a credit card if you haven't exchanged to pounds yet. And it was a beautiful trail that we were able to walk on. There's a coffee shop with snacks and a gift shop if that's something that you're looking for, souvenirs. After enjoying a walk along the cliffs, we headed to London. We were actually staying in Swanley, which is on the outskirts of London, and you can see here we are now driving on the left side of the road. It wasn't too difficult to remember to drive on the left side because we were on the highway a lot of the time, especially to go out around London. But the thing to remember here is that you need to stay to the left if you're going slower. You pass to the right, so that was a new thing to remember. And then when you get on the smaller roads like this one and have to do the roundabouts, it wasn't too difficult to do the roundabout because we have been in Italy for a while, but it's still something to remember. I know there's once or twice I kind of was startled by thinking somebody was on the wrong side of the road, and that somebody ended up being me. So you just got to keep an eye on it, and it's really not too difficult. They're not quite as aggressive driving as they are in Italy. For the first time on our trip, it was cheaper to stay at a hotel than an Airbnb, so we stayed at the Premier Inn, which is a great budget hotel, very comfortable and clean, and it had a really nice restaurant too. Tomorrow we go into London. See you soon! This playground is intended for use by children under 14 years. Children need and want to take risks. Please ensure that your children do not exceed their abilities while they're having fun by always supervising them. Please report any damage or accidents as soon as possible to a member of staff. Yes? Aww. So what was your favorite part about England? Well, went to the White Cliffs of Dover. Oh, so you like the White Cliffs of Dover? No, there was this playground.